What's up, my loves and fellow creators? Hopefully you can hear me. I heard something. I'm checking them, doing a mic check this time. What's up, my loves and there it goes. I heard my country voice. Hey y'all, hey y'all. I always have to do that because I don't want to be sitting here talking and y'all can't hear me. So I love to do the mic check because we're always live. Live gets it done. If y'all don't know, if you ever have second thoughts about just doing your YouTube or getting yourselves out there, just do it live. If you do it live and do it ugly, no matter the mistakes, no matter what happens in the course of it, at least you got it done, which is better than perfect, and perfect never gets done. All right, all right. I see y'all. Hello, hello. Awesome. Y'all can hear me. Good deal, good deal. Okay, so thank you all for giving me grace this last week because your girl was pushing it, and I was not able to get to preparing class for last week. So for this one, I'm actually going to give you all the file that I use to design my dress. And if you didn't see the dress, I'll show you a little brief demo of it here on this little thumbnail here. I used the pattern here, you'll see. And I made sure like I did my graphics extra big. So I shrunk it down a little bit for the t-shirt design. But as you can see, you have the print pattern, which is the I, C, and the C for the Innate and the creator above, creator below. If you don't know a little logo, this is why I developed it that way, to represent us as creators and why we are connected to the source when we are in our creative mode. So you'll see it has a leopard print there, has some flowers you can recolor, and has the leopard's eye, right? And then I'm going to show you some ways where we can quickly turn this out to a different design. We're going to do it as a birthday, and then we're also going to give memorial and tribute to Takeoff, who's an artist, impacted many, and just young spirit that is unfortunately gone way too soon. So I want to be able to show you how versatile, and then I'll also change it. I'll do a template flip and show you how it can be used for sports. I want you all to get in the mind frame of being able to take any of these things that you see and really flipping them to whatever your end project is, because I know you all have the creativity to take it to the next level, okay? Also, let me let you know that we will be having a challenge. A challenge, y'all. It is the Creativity to Cash Flow Challenge. So I'm going to get y'all on Etsy, and I'm also going to show you an opportunity where you will be able to sell templates, sell template variations, and also market your services if you do printing or pressing for others. And we're really going to develop this network, y'all. I told y'all an app was in progress, and we're almost there. So you all are going to get to take a sneak peek of it, those who join the challenge. And for those who are members, you will even have an opportunity to make some money on the app because we will be marketing the graphic services, and this app will also be able to market to customers all over the United States. So I'm really excited. I want you all to be a part of it. That's one of the things I've been working on in the background. Also ended up getting my 100K a day award. I didn't even know I was going to get it. I just randomly ended up, this was not the time to tell the story, but I might as well tell the story. So I ended up at a speakers conference with one of my mentors, Myron Golden, phenomenal human being. And something came up to where I was doing my one-on-one and we were working, and an opportunity presented itself. And typically, I'm always, very, let's say, not just cautious, but I limit my own possibilities sometimes just by thinking that something is too much for someone else. So we got to get out of that. If you think your customer can't afford it, they can. If you think you can't do something, you can. So we got to get out of that mind frame. So this time I went into complete mind frame of I understand what I have is valuable, and I just want to be of service right? And if any of you have a mentor, someone that you particularly want to learn something from, I suggest that you find a way that you can add value to them and just be that value, right? So long story short, I end up on a private jet with Myron Golden. That's the short version of the story. And on this private jet, I meet a wonderful person who just happens to be a software developer and a partner of Myron Golden. So that opportunity by itself, y'all, has expanded my brain so much that I almost can't even sleep. So from that opportunity, I go to a banquet that I wasn't expecting to go to, had nothing to wear, and one of the young ladies on Myron's team, a phenomenal person as well, just happened to have the color sweater that I could wear to the, like, everything fell into place. All the pieces fell into place. I was able to network with people that have the ability to not just take our platform and what we do to another level, but what we do can take them to another level. So I got a chance to really voice what we do and network with people who can really move our market. So the app and the people that can move the market, that move was a phenomenal opportunity. And then after that, I ended up being in Atlanta. I wasn't supposed to be there because I was going to end up missing an event. So my other mentor is in Atlanta. That's Nehemiah Davis. Y'all definitely check Myron Golden and Nehemiah Davis out. Shouts out to my mentors. I will always let y'all know who I'm learning from so that you get to understand too what level and what value of education I'm bringing and trickling down to you all as well. So I get there and Neo jokes with me the night before because he was at the event and he's like, yeah, I should give you an award for, being the most present. And I was like, I am. I'm like everywhere you want to be, right? So I, just laughed that off. And by the next night, I'm just sitting there and he calls my name up while he's giving his speech and asks me to give a speech and presents me with the 100K award. So y'all, was not expecting any of those opportunities, has greatly been blessing and beneficial, but we about to get to a bag together. So I didn't mean to make this one long. Y'all know I've been making my demo videos like 15 minutes, but I just had to share with you some of the things going on. I'll probably go live later on this evening and just kind of see how you all have been doing, what you all need help with in your respective industry, because it's getting time for Black Friday. It's getting time for, of course, holiday orders. And I want to make sure everybody's good. So we're going to do this Etsy challenge to make sure, y'all, each year I put up a list in December 1st, and I can guarantee that I make at least 5 figures from my Etsy, whatever I post up on Etsy for Christmas. So we're going to do a little something like that for our challenge. And I want you all to be ready for that. Okay. So anyhow, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this design going. All right. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and change out the main image here. So we'll click on the photo. And if you all are ever wondering how to change where the guidelines are off, let's go ahead and go up to View, Show, and turn off the guides. So if these little pesky guides bother you, if you just can't design around them, or they're in the way of what you're trying to click on, just turn them off. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and right click on the photo. Go to the photo. We'll double click. Okay. And here I'm going to tell you the steps. You would just go to File. As a matter of fact, let's do this one. File, Place Embedded. I'm going to go through all the steps and then I'll show you. So I'm going to put the football player here and scale it to the size I need because it's a tiny photo. It's not high resolution, but it's going to be fine for demonstrative purposes because y'all already know I'm going to delete this or black it out, silhouette it. Okay. Let's go ahead and update that. Awesome. So from here, now you might be putting in like a school logo or something to that effect. You can pick the colors. Now for this photo, y'all know I don't do these hard lines. So I'm going to show you how to, I double clicked on the smart object just in case you missed that step. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and fade off the bottom of this photo because I don't do the hard lines. Y'all know it. So let's go ahead and add a layer mask. That's what the rectangle here with the circle's for. And then I'm going to go over to my gradient tool. I'm going to choose the gradient. If you don't already have it selected, it's in the basics folder. It's the gradient that has the color plus the checkerboard. Now you want to make sure that you're on your default color. You want to make sure that black is selected here because black conceals and white reveals, right? So I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the inside meat of the image. I don't want to come to the outside. On the inside meat of the image, I'm going to hold down shift so that it stays straight. If I don't hold down shift, you see how I can go at an angle? If I hold down shift, it stays steady. Boom, that fades it off. And now I can go File, Save, Control S on the PC, Control S on the PC, Command S on the Mac. And then once I close out of this, updates the photo, and you see I have a nice fade off down there. Perfect and ready to go. Now what I want you to do is select two colors from the image. We're going to use our eyedropper tool, and we're going to come into, we'll just choose a color from the uniform. Okay, so that'll be color number 1. Double click on the foreground color. We're going to add that to swatches and just call it number 1. Then the second color, we could do like a silver or gray, but for this one, I'm going to let the secondary color be white. So I could just come up here to white and just say, if I want to add it to swatches, I can, but white should already be a part of your swatches. And that's it. So we have color 1 and color 2 to change out. Let's go ahead and go to the top here. Double click on our smart color number 1. And then I'm just going to duplicate the layer so I can keep all of the variations of colors. So for smart color number 1, I'm going to double click. As a matter of fact, since we have them in our swatches, we don't even have to double click. Once you have it selected, you can just tap on the color in the swatches panel. You can hit save, which is Control S, or you can do File, Save. Okay. So when I close out, I have that color updated here, and you notice where the flowers were light blue before, now they're teal. So for color number 2, and I only have color number 2 literally on the flowers. If I want to change it to white, I can, but I can also just disable where the color is applied to the flower. Right here, the yellow. And just turn that yellow off. And you'll notice that, of course, when we apply colors to stuff, I kind of like the silver. I really do. So when we apply these different colors, sometimes you're going to need to adjust the levels based on whether it's a light color or a darker color. So for instance, I'll say this is my lighter color. Lighter levels. Let me show you how to change the levels. Let's say if we did want to do a darker color, that works well. Let's say you feel like the lighter color kind of washes out. You can go to your levels, double click on it, and you can adjust. I suggest you adjust the midtones first. Get it where you want it. And see, this one has the highlights brought down, so we can bring it back up. And what we want like a lighter kind of silver / white. And if we turn the levels off, it becomes white anyway. But if I want that silver, basically what I'm doing is I'm playing with the shadows, the highlights, and the midtones to give me a desired effect. And how those colors apply depends on the blend mode, and it depends on the levels of the color underneath, or the values of the colors underneath that color. So I'm going to stick with using the levels because it gives me a little bit of a gray tone there. Kind of gives me that silver. All right. So I think this one is good to go. But what if I don't want to see leopard print? I know you love leopard print, Shannon, but not everybody wants leopard print. Okay. I got something for you. Let's double click where we see the leopard pattern. Double click there. And let's go ahead and add another image here. Let's say we're going to do File, Place Embedded. I think I have some images here. Let's go with, I'm going to go with the football texture. And make sure that it spans all the way top and bottom. And I'll leave these in here for y'all. Okay, so that's your football texture. Let's update that. All right, so we have football there, and then let's do where we see the leopard's eye. We'll double click there. And this one we'll do replace embedded, and then I'll put here. And again, we're going to make sure all the way top to bottom. We don't want it clipping our image, because sometimes when you see it faded off, you can't tell, but it is clipping your image. All right, so this one we change, and then I want to change this one to the feathers. Just thought it'd be cool. File, place embedded. Go with the equal feathers. And again, we're just going to make sure that it completely comes off the edge here, so we're not losing anything. Right. Go ahead and save and update. All right. And then the other thing we can do is we can color these components. So let's say that I want to color them with the teal color here. I'm going to add the teal color. I'm also going to add the black and white, because you need black and white first in order to color it teal. And then down here with the feathers, same thing. I'm going to color it the teal color, and I'm going to add the black and white. Now you could add the levels if you feel like the levels will help you see the details a little bit better. I prefer that it be a little subtle. Okay. So that's really it for most of this design. I think I'm gonna change something in the back. Let's do the pattern fill, and you'll notice that I gave you a pattern fill here. This is the Innate Creatives, but you can turn off. You can go with the background that's naturally there, kind of like a marble. I also gave you an option to use this little tiger print here, but I want to show you a little something. I want to show you how you can take my pattern. Let's go ahead and duplicate the layer, and let's change it. Now how we're gonna change this is we are going to open up any logo that has a PNG background. Okay, so we're gonna open up this one and see how it's a PNG background, or it's a PNG and it has a transparent background. So the fact that it's transparent is gonna work out perfect. Let's go to edit. And then we are going to define pattern. Now this works if it's a single logo, so don't worry about it. Let's go close logo. Boom. Now we can close out of that PNG, and we can double click on the pattern here. If we come to the drop down, guess what we're gonna find? Boom. There is an option to do an equals logo. Look at that. And basically what it does is it takes the image and repeats it. Okay, now you can change the angle that it repeats it. You can change the size. I think I kind of like it at this angle here. The scale of it, we can increase to make the pattern bigger or smaller. Okay. And all that's completely up to you, but basically this is a very complex design that looks complex, but most of the work is already done for you, so you can just go in there and update a few elements. Now let's say you want to change the blend mode, because right now this one's on overlay. You can change it to normal, and it'll be the normal color, or you can play with some of the blend modes here to get whatever desired effect. I always say just play with the blend mode. And then the other thing you can do is you can also change the opacity. So I'm going to go back to my previous blend mode, which is overlay. You can also change the opacity so that it's a little more subtle. Boom, that's one variation there. And of course, if you're not doing an all over, you can break it down to the 13 by 19 by just layer mask here. And you have a completed design. So I'm going to turn off color number 2 here. All right, and then in order to edit the text, we'll just double click on the T. So we right click on it to find where it is in the layers, and then we double click on the T to change the text. But I'm going to wait to change the text until we do the next variation, because I want to show you how quick we can do the next. Now this one, I'm going to disable the layer mask so I can see the full all over. And we're going to make another take, if you will. We're going to take off this one. And this one is paying tribute to Takeoff. Let's go. So let's go photo, double click. Now, just like we did before where we did the file place embedded, I already have it in here and I already faded off the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and update that. Say yes, I want to save the changes. So now we have that photo in here. Next, we'll go ahead and change out the colors. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the top because I like to change my colors from the top level. So color number 1, I think I'm going to go with this red color. Now we can change it to anything that we want. And see how it changes the flowers to red. And for color number 2, I'm going to go with like this warm kind of chestnut color. A little bit of a brown. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the flowers, and remember before I played with the levels a little bit, so I might want to put different levels on or adjust the levels depending on how much of the color I really want to take, how much I want the flower to take on the original color, right? So you can change these levels if need be, but I think this one's good. And then for the pattern here, I am going to activate the tiger stripe pattern. I'm closing down things here. So, and honestly, I wasn't expecting, I like the feathers there a little bit. It's kind of cool to me. And we can go to the leopard now. Now we can color, we're going to bring the leopard back. Of course we can. Now we can leave the leopard the natural color that it is, or see how the smart color that we have implemented recolors the leopard there. So I think I'm going to leave it as that. I like that. I think it looks interesting. And then of course to change the text out, we'll right click on the word wild and it'll take us to that specific layer. We'll double click on the T and I'm going to spell takeoff, or I'm going to spell takeoff correctly. And here's the thing too, you can go with the all caps, right? All caps, or you can turn that off and it'll do the mix of caps and lowercase. And this means that you do not have to type in all caps to see what a font looks like in all caps. Okay, so I think I like this one in all caps. And then for the second text, I'm going to turn off text number 2 and turn on text number 3, which I've already prepared for you all. It's just basically, it's the same as text number 1. I just duplicated it, right? And then just made it to where it would be a little more squished in and give us our message here. So this one will be the rest in peace here. But of course you can edit this text to whatever you want it to. Same thing, you would just double click on the T here. And then you would type whatever you want over this existing text and it'll replace it. And then also I do want to show you, you don't have to recolor any of this stuff. Technically, if let's say you wanted to do like an overall color, I have this as like a cheat code in here. So if you do an overall color and you just want to do a monochromatic design, this will automatically color everything that's below this layer with this layer effect. So it's using the color blend mode, and it's an easy peasy way to take any design that you're doing and recolor it with a monochromatic scheme, or even if you wanted to put a gradient there, that will. My love, so that's the full demonstration. Of course, I'll show you what this one looks like. here, and let's say your text is hanging off here. You want to make sure that you resize it so that it's not going to be cut off. And then this is a very simple, looks extremely complicated, but something that you can edit in 5 minutes, maybe even less, depending on how much you're really going to edit within this file. And it's ready to go. So we changed colors, changed our image, and we also edited the text. And this is going to be something that you can turn into really anything that you want to see, whether it's sports, family, birthday. Of course, you may even want to do this for like program design or poster design, etc. So I want y'all to know that sky's the limit, and this is only a tool for your imagination. Okay? All right, love. So y'all know what the deal is. I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. And until next time, bye.